Hey there and welcome. In this explainer, we're going to power up your communication, making it way more precise, insightful, and, just more effective.
So, I bet you've run into this, right? You've got this really important extra piece of information, maybe a reason, a result, or your own take on things. But how do you fit it in without totally derailing your main point? Well, there's a really empowering grammar tool that's built for exactly this. And that tool is the non-defining relative clause. Now, the key word here is non-essential. This isn't the main event, it's more like the insightful commentary. Think of it as a helpful little aside, always tucked between commas, that makes your main message richer without messing up the flow. Okay, so let's break this down into 3 specific, really powerful tools. You can use these to smoothly add emotion and insight to what you're saying, turning simple facts into something much more compelling.
Our first tool is all about connecting the dots for whoever's listening. When you use which is why, you're making a crystal clear link between a situation and what caused it. You're not just saying what happened, you're giving the logic behind it.
See how that creates such a clear cause and effect story? The frustration is the cause, and the abandoned carts, that's the effect. Using which is why makes that connection impossible to miss, and your point becomes so much more persuasive.
Next up, we've got which means. This is your go-to phrase for explaining the direct consequence of something. It basically answers the question, so what? By taking a fact and immediately showing its impact.
And this just shows that link perfectly. What was the problem? The product was hard to find, and the result? Sales were low. By using which meant, you paint a complete picture of the problem and its consequence, all in one clean, powerful sentence.
Now for what might be the most motivating tool of them all, which is plus an adjective. This is where you get to go beyond the basic facts and put in your own evaluation, your emotion, or your professional judgment. It's how you add that personal human layer to the information. This just elevates the whole statement, doesn't it? It's not just a report of what happened. It's a report plus a reaction. You're telling your audience not just what to know, but how to feel about it. And that makes your communication so much more dynamic.
Okay, so let's see how these tools actually work in a real-world dialogue. We're going to listen in on a chat between Maria, a data analyst, and Ben, a store manager, and see how these little clauses really energize their whole discussion.
And right away, Maria uses our first tool. She presents the data. Customers couldn't find the products, and then immediately uses which is why to give a logical, data-driven recommendation. It's just so clear, direct, and totally justified.
Then Ben chimes in, confirming her point with our second tool. He describes the old setup, scattered products, and uses which meant that to explain the direct negative result. He's backing up her data with his own on-the-ground experience.
And here's our third tool in action. Ben doesn't just say the change was simple, he adds his own insight and enthusiasm, calling it brilliant, shows his strong positive reaction, and really closes the loop on their successful project together. All right, now it's time for you to try. Let's do a little practice. This is where you'll really get to feel just how empowering these tools are for crafting clear, insightful sentences. I'll show you a sentence, and you can figure out which tool fits best. Okay, here's our first one. What do you think is missing here? We're stating a fact, the button's location, and then we're adding a bit of a judgment about it. Exactly, which adds that personal evaluation. You're not just describing the layout. You're critiquing it and adding your valuable insight into the user experience.
Okay, on to the next one. Think about the relationship between these two ideas. A public health emergency has been declared. So, what's the direct consequence of that action?
That's right. Which means is the perfect choice. It connects the declaration directly to its immediate result, the school closures. It's a very clear, factual statement of consequence.
And for our last one, a company decides not to invest in marketing. What's the logical link between that choice and how much buyers know about the product?
You got it. Which means that perfectly explains the outcome. No marketing investment means people don't know about the product. This clause just makes that logical link crystal clear.
Okay, let's wrap this all up. Mastering these simple clauses is actually a huge step toward more inspiring and impactful communication. It's really about moving from just reporting information to shaping how that information is understood.
So, here they are, your 3 empowering tools. Just remember, use which is why for the reason, which means for the result, and which is plus an adjective to share your unique and valuable insight.
And this is the core idea to take with you. When you add your evaluation, your analysis, your emotion,
You're not just adding fluff. You're providing context. You're providing meaning. You're turning data into a story and a simple statement into a compelling idea.
So I'll leave you with this motivating question. Think about a message you need to get across today to a coworker, a client, or maybe just a friend. How can you use one of these tools to make it clearer, more logical, and a lot more inspiring? Go on, give it a try.